Ras, you must talk to Ras. Talk to Rastafari. When you hear me say my son of a talk to Rascla, hold on. Should you say Rascla? Something is in the Eastern language. I always remember the word Ras mean head and check my turban and my clock that tight to see. So I say Rascla. Well, the fire is for the purification. How can you fight against fire? When you wake up in the morning, you want a cup of tea, it's fire. Don't. The evening, you want some food, that's still fire. So I say my bun car. You don't understand what I mean? I don't understand. I say my bun car means you mustn't put car in front of humanity. That means you must see your brothers and sisters where you see car. But if you're going to complicated or being ridiculous with the little mental capacity, I know I'm going to fire. Well, in the time I go into my car, when I drive car, I have to burn it. Because remember, when I press gas, I burn me, I burn gas. You know that. When I press my brake, I burn me, I burn brake also. So when I turn on the ignition, you know how much fire that's in my engine. If I need some music and turn on the stereo of fire, give me that. But watch a bigger judgment. If I need some cool air conditioner, fire. Remember, the fire is the main source of life. Me pass the church and hear them depend. Keep the fire burning. Hear them again. A little more oil in my lamp. Keep it burning. Hear them now. God now come back with no water. Brimstone and fire. No, the fuck no confused about fire. The fire is for the purification. You don't want to know something? The herb heal, but it's still the fire to burn the herb, so the herb could not able to heal. Watch again, the water cleanse, but it's still the fire to burn the water and purify the water, so the water could not able to cleanse. And the man when have no fire dead. Holy Emmanuel, I slash.
Gadites and the International Morning Ride Show. Shout out to all British Virgin Island and all US Virgin Island. You can't play that one time. You can't play that two times. Play it again. Play it again. Shoodly wally diddly.
All hail the National Grand Rising Show. Monday to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. News, music, live interviews, covering the global issues of the Maroons. Promotional packages available now. Freshradiovybz, broadcasting locally and internationally. Your number one online radio station. Streaming on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and Google, YouTube. Listen radio at its best. Call and join us now at 260-09-8730 and rise. Freshradiovybz, the official radio station for the Maroon Nation. Drop us an email at gadites@gmail.com. That is GADIETHZ@gmail.com. The International Grand Rising Show. We shall avail. We shall avail. We shall avail.
And the final assassin is so me I say, righteousness exalt the nation, the righteousness cannot be forgotten, and the glory can't be blotted out. White flesh, tell them see it. Yo, well again you know, I'm on a mission, me say what is my purpose. This is the youths, them a live up. Yo again, on a mission, me say what is my purpose. This is the wicked man a burn up. Yo again, on a mission, me say what is my purpose. This is the youths, them a step up. Yo again. On a mission, this is the youths, them a live up. Who will get mashed up? I go get mashed up. Who will get burned up? I go get burned up. Who will get broke up? I go get broke up. Then no will live up a fit just one. Then no will give up a fit just one. Who will get tired? I go get tired. Who will get who will get set up? I go get set up. This pocket I know the whole place for up from the fire burn. And a mission is what it is. Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. And the final assassin is so me I say, righteousness exalt the nation, the righteousness cannot be forgotten, and the glory can't be blocked out. White flesh, tell them see it. Yo, well yes, I'm on a mission, me say what is my purpose. This is the youths, them a live up. Yo again, on a mission, me say what is my purpose. This is the wicked man a burn up. Yo again, And ambition, me say what is my purpose. You see the youths, them a step up. Yo again. And ambition, me say what is my purpose. You see the youths, them a live up. Who fi get mash up? I go get mash up. Who fi get burn up? I go get burn up. Who fi get broke up? I go get broke up. Then no fi. Then no fi give up, I fi just one give up. Then no fi corrupt, then they done born corrupt. Who fi get tired? I go get tired. Who fi get pull up? I go get pull up. Who fi get hang up? I go get hang up. Who fi get set this the pocket, I know the whole place for up from this fire burn. And a mission, me say what is my purpose. They say the wicked man a burn up. And a mission, me say what is my purpose. They say the youths them a step up. And a mission, me say what is my purpose. They say the wicked man a burn up. And a mission, me say what is my purpose. Pull it up again, pull it up again, pull it up again. Who fi get butter? I go get butter. Then no fi flatter, they just start flatter. Then no fi scatter, they just start scatter. Who fi get better? I go get better. Who fi get higher? I go get higher. Who fi get copper? I go get copper.
I want to take Grand Rising to the man called Graham Smorgan in the building right now.
Who fi get stretcher? I go get stretcher. Who fi get cheddar? I go get cheddar. This the pocket. Yes, that's what you're saying. This one is the ultimate shot.
Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio.
Is that so? Is that so?
Radio station. Freshradiovybz.
So you can.
Hey, I'm DJ. Pull that up again. Pull it.
Put the rasta the master. So you have Madam Flashy. This key up and not always is a demography. Long time ready, bun down ready. No for them that don't mess again now, ready. Long time ready, bun down ready. Smoke much smoke, you won't have them all ready. Long time ready, bun down. No for them that don't mess again now, ready.
Yeah, what the camera people am I dealing with right now? Yes, again.
And then you still a eat pork. Oh, you ferrous and then you still a smoke hawk. Still a the sail pan body and boat. No friends that we go up on the north coast. Bow to the queen, bow to the top. Under the influence of fitting call the job. No for take the everything and no for take talk. Everyone I get them note, everyone I see them sport. Bill the arm of them come round your support. No say them a lion, but Missy say them a God. Boss with this wood and let me chop off the throat. No for them I go in a John Paul road. Don't touch me ready. Don't touch me ready. Don't ready. Smoke too much smoke the whole lot of my rocks. Don't touch me ready. Don't ready. No for them that won't miss again now. Ready. Don't touch me ready. Don't ready. I just wanna walk them do. Oh, call me a thing it will try back products. Go call the tick and put a fire on the top. Call but go shanty from the
yeah, I'm a bun out piece of the thing will go on. Hold on there.
Can't miss the bubba, say the bubba we a frack. Can't see the king if you're not royal hat. Royalness for the royal flag. Roman turban for the royal flag. Yeah, no say them a lion, but Bessie say them a fox.
Here until approximately 2 o'clock today. Oh my God, a big madam of man, tell us you have been disrespect one sometime over the years, but you have to just hold it in. Because some people don't even know the levels, you see me?
Hey, I'm a DJ. Pull that up again.
Never comes to see the touch my blood clot here. Some man think I went one perfect shape, and him never early, always late. Some kind of money well.
Everybody have come up on this blood clot. Yes, I am the Fire Friday. Fire Friday. I want to see you.
Burning you. Blessing you. Burning you. Well,
Come on, Henry. Yes, I rebel.
always keep the fire burning. Well, I will never stop.
Yo, the one you have got Fiyah like little son of Yes, I. The official radio station for the Maroon Nation. Let's go turn it up a bit. Come on, what's going on?
Always keep the fire burning. Well, I will never stop. Always keep the fire. Listen, I want to hear blood out the chichi. Blood out the chichi. See them not too much. Blood out the chichi. Blood out the chichi. You say I need too much. Blood out the chichi. Blood out the chichi. See them not too much. Blood out the chichi. Blood out the chichi. You know, say them I need too much. Well, no. Cut them, cock out, rock out, hack out, stack out, mop out, drop out, lot out, not out, rat out, hack out, flop out, lot out. Listen till I say I'm back out. But then you blood out the chichi, blood out the sissy. Them not too much. Blood out the chichi, blood out the city. You know, so them I give it too much and it. Blood out the chichi, blood out the sissy. Them not too much. Blood out the chichi, blood out the city. You know, so them I give it too much in it. When the fat them go mad out, shut out, rad out, had out, bag out, wag out, lag out, tag out, bag out, grab out, rab out, crab out. Listen till I say I'm mad out. But then you blood out the chichi, blood out the city. Hit them up and not too much. Blood out the chichi,
lines are not open yet. Hold on.
You know, so them I give it too much in it. Blood out the chichi, blood out the city. From them now I know who my them I deal with iniquity. Blood out the chichi, blood out the city. I know I something. You say that one that they play number one. Play number one. The ladies jacket them to play number one. Here number one. Share number one. Look at them, you say they want to trade number one.
Subscribe and share.
Play number one. The ladies jacket them to play number one. Here number one. Share number one. But that one that them, I will never stop. Always keep the fire burning. I will never stop. Just make yourself clear. Touch my blood clot. I ain't nice. Suck on the mother. Suck on the mother. Suck on the mother. What's enough? Get on the for this blood clot every night. There is no time to waste. Some come to story to patch I corrupt for being human creator.
Yes, I.
Them change them ways. Being you know we up upon yourself you waste out today's y'all. I don't see so them are guys. Them come to story to patch I corrupt for being human creator. Here's up. The western coast, enough of them are dead. Them might think say a joke. Them have the money and still them can't float. I come to separate the sheep from the goat. Looking at the heap to see how about it out. Give them the chalice and them end up a talk. Can't bunny earth them run guns not talk. The fire then now who want the smoke. Give the youth the culture cause I eat me a promote. Them must come together Rastafari and no joke. Not take no talk.
You know she said them again.
Them come for story to a corrupt what the big man creator. Tell them open up the base. Get a youth to no hurry up because I can sell us the man I praise yo. You know she said them again. Them come for story to a corrupt what the big youth creator. Still I see out in every night. Big youth to no hurry up because me not come here. Yes. These still coming know them gone. They hear me plant food and corn.
Yes, sir. Sounds of the one called Sizzler Kalanji inside the building right now.
Sure the journey get red and warm. The youth stop cut on the slave master land.
Like you don't get the dirty money in your palm.
We not and come.
You know, sister, them again.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the bingy man create now. Tell them change them ways. Bingy youth know re up.
The little fool can't come sell me nothing around here, so hold them.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the bingy man create now. Pull that up again. Pull it.
Yeah, man, the little fool can't come sell with a fairy tale around here, so we know exactly what go on. The people them know say right now a goodness and mercy, you know. They must say that yo, right now we now work like them want we for work, but
Big up Mama
G, big up Mama G. Yo, big up all of my maroon them, you know. What them say, I think them I put on one thing up on grandfather.
Time to go. So come to watch I corrupt for Bingy man create.
Yes, sir.
Tell them change them ways. Bingy youth no hurry up, now come yourself your ways out today.
We don't have to take it easy, you know.
Them come to story to watch
Fire Friday, so we are burn a whole heap of fire upon dirty Babylon.
Bingy youth hurry
Yo,
up because
turn it up.
Selassie. Ethiopia now stretch out. To King Selassie I know.
Rocking
things are getting
in the western coast. Imagine after them kill off so much people, them talk about them have election. Them a deal with election.
Looking at the see who about it out. Give them the chalice and them.
I hear some brothers and sisters out there right now, them suffering right now, them can't say nothing. Them come like lamb to the slaughter.
They must come together as
so we see you again. You know, sister, them again.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the Bingy man create.
So much corruption, you know.
Because I can Selassie.
Yeah, our brother. You know, sister, them again.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the Bingy you create.
Man, them say me a rap with the government. The man say me a rap, hey, me a stop playing with the government. Hold on.
These still coming, know them gone. Jackie there, me plant food and corn. The youth come first, and me know let it farm. I till the dead, and one make them a stun. Babylon be still on the long, make me go on. Up on the hill, no dirty work, me not perform. Sure them your journey get redder than warm. The youth stop cut all the slave master land. I do nothing forget the bloody money in our palm. We not and come.
You notice them again.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the Bingy man create. Tell them change them ways. Bingy youth no hurry up, no come yourself your ways. So be days, yo.
You notice them again.
Them come for story talk a corrupt what the Bingy man create. Tell them open up them eyes. Bingy youth no hurry up, no come yourself your ways. Do I the honor give the youth the betterment. Educate them right, feed them upliftment. I know settlers no give, I no settlement. I run the police, this a bigger judgment. What's the result from your conference? No solution, you confuse you and your friends.
Let me just welcome the man named Strength in the building.
Babylon the fight, going down again. Lightning message, slap England. Burn them to assist them a pollute land. Lightning message up in
and approximately, hold on. The next 10 minutes we are walking the phone line. We don't know who the on the lines are. Music month, everybody that's on the line right now. Fire Friday, mix up. Maroon power.
I boast the generation. Me tell them say, you know say some them face. Them come for story talk a corrupt what the Bingy man create. Tell them change them ways. Bingy you know hurry up to come here. Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Bagaboo them man.
Oh, what take them bagaboo ya? When them say election time, run again.
Set it up. Kill them, pop it.
Yes.
Flip it yourself and make it up. Set it up. Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it. Pull it. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Oh, them man.
Let them take that, them take the maroon people them for some subjects, don't. Subjugate us, right?
Set it up, we kill them, pop it up.
Yes. Fire Friday.
We kill them, pop it up. Defend yourself.
Love and share, subscribe.
How much him a bad man and kill people regular?
Yes.
Come and tell me how him jingled like a Dracula. Don't give a fuck, little punk away you love. Murder the boy with the gun we carry the production. Hide them a hype and still can't get popular. Wonder how I could have take them little coffee.
On a Friday, this is how we turn it up, you know.
Pull up him damn big and roll at them a cup of yam. Set it up, make we kill them, pop it up. Defend yourself and you make it up. So set it up, make we kill them, pop it up. Defend yourself and you make it up. Listen to you to the place we lead. You're living in a world of make-believe. What? Too high, then we cut your speed. You're this a gangster, then your face will bleed. You think I'm freaking playing, we gon' shut you down. Anytime gangster come mash you down. Pull you up a gunshot and dash you down. Take the freaking Glock and box you down. Set it up, make we kill them, pop it up. Defend yourself and you make it up. Yeah. Set it up, make we kill them, pop it up. Defend yourself and you make it up. Why we bust your head with the damn Mackie level? Coulda pray to Baphomet, coulda pray to the devil. We rule the earth like kangaroo level. Now we bust gunshot 24/7. Think you're bad and you have the nerve. Yes. Why your brain will fly like a bird. We got a
no little weak can't survive in Nigeria. No little weak can't. We are going to cross 80 today. We are going over 80 today. We're going to pick up all of the Asian, them, the Asian. Yes.
Yes, how much him a bad man and kill people regular. Come and tell me how him drink blood like a Dracula. Oh, give a fuck little punk where you for murder the boy with the gun we carry the gun. Wonder how I could have taken them little trapia. Them not say real.
And we are touch base over Ben's the new eating place. Not to mention we're going to buy the African store today. Want to get the massive out there is Fire Friday. Gotta say welcome to each and every one. This is how we do it every single working day. We just keep it real. And why is my DJ bouncing in the studio like this? Let me say big up to the massive them and big up all of the crew them inside of the house, guys. It's another Fire Friday. We're here with all of the good things, you know what I mean? So I'm say we're gonna touch base over where we go, where the jet go, where the plane line up to go this morning. You know, same time we put in the fuel this morning, the people them say Gadites. You have to go over to the British Virgin Islands, Gadites. You know, me say yes. Me don't really stop long over there, you know. But the people them call me and them say Gadites. It seems as if you have to come over there because they're calling on Freshradiovybz. And we want to big up all that massive them who call on Freshradiovybz and give them 2 cents. Yes, big up to the liberators, them people who are liberating our people. If I don't know, we don't know vice, we don't know what go on, because some of them people here, them have nothing to say more than just watch the slaughtering of our brothers and sisters. It is atrocious. It's atrocious. It's disgusting. And I think this sort of silence that is going on is I don't know. People, the number to call today is 260-209-8730. If you want to express yourself, if you want to express yourself and talk and some of the issues them where, you know, if you live over there, so the plane definitely we have make up a one stop over there, so over the BVI. We also we're heading, the captain just informed me that we will be going over to Haiti. Yeah, we're going over to Haiti to see exactly what this big Hannibal over there is about, because as how me I hear it, and me I hear it through the grapevine like everybody, me get a video and I can't show this video. We cannot show this video because if this is how them are deal with police over the place they call Haiti, I don't know. We're going to get this, so the jet going to make a stop over there, so. And of course, we have the continent of Africa. We're going over to Malawi. Is it Malawi we're going over to? One of them places there. We are going over to go chat to some of them people, yeah, and see if them can deal with what go on. Big up to the Nyan Kapong government, you know. Big up on yourself, you know, doing a damn good work, man, I tell you. You know, a galang hardcore. Yes. Big up to the designer out there oh, the designer is making some changes to our pages. So while you see I'm here, I am also multitasking, trying to see how we look. Cameraman, that's how we are looking at in. Oh, Jesus. Cameraman. Camera woman. Mighty God, watch how you ramp with the people, them superstar. Watch how you ramp with the people, them superstar. Because this year, yes, if you never know what's going on right now, we are streaming all over planet Earth. All over planet Earth with it right now. Not to mention, we have the necessary link when it comes on to the galaxy. Yeah, we have galaxy link out there. Mighty God. Bear with us, people. See my diff. This just start work with where I want. Mighty God, man. New man. Help. Next time I send over. Stop the music for me. Next time I send over nobody for work with us, may I beg you please. Make them know how Gadites stand. Make them know say Gadites now. You're not idiot thing. But to the thing, as I said, the jets is fuel right now. We're gonna take off and fasten your seatbelts. Please get your seatbelts on. Let me see who is on the jet with us. Yes, we have Sister Michelle. Sister Michelle, she did not get the prayers from Willie, but she make her own supplication, and she's feeling better. Praise the Lord. Now, as I said, we're not going to pick on Michelle this morning because Michelle have things to deal with. Where do you think we should go? BVI first? No, BVI stay back. Make BVI stay around I can't. So make we see if we can get the phone line open. The tool 260. Yeah, 209-8730. Sellers and buyers. The jet are get ready now. Mighty God, it's up there, Father. We just take off a while ago. Give me a round of applause because the pilot are going good. Yes. Big up to the pilot. Go on, pilot. Yes, I. Who the on the plane with me this morning? Who the on the plane? Who the on the plane with you this morning? Mighty God. No, Jesus, peace. Yo, Jesus, peace. My God, Shaggy the on the plane this morning. Shaggy, why somebody need to feed the dog, you know? I mean, somebody need to talk to Shaggy, you know? Somebody need to talk to Shaggy. Shaggy have him little daughter and them sitting there. I mean, I think that Shaggy should have gone. So who else up on the plane with us this morning? Let's hear who up on the plane.
Innocent for no say a crew representing for Gadites on the Morning Right International Show. Nobody nothing know say you want him a touch. Nobody nothing know say you a give it up. Nobody nothing know say you go hard. Baby, you know him love you bad. Good him say that. I'm out.
Mighty God. Well, let's see if we get the engine up. As I said before, sometimes the engines don't even connect how we want to. Let's get the plane up. People. Mighty God. Oh, yeah, we're off. We're landing. Yes, we're landing. Grand Rising. My brother Kenny, are you in the cockpit?
I tell you what, you catch me on the run, which is absolutely interesting. It's quite busy nowadays.
I know you're quite busy. But the jet just took off a while ago, and I was going to not stop at your destination because your destination is an undisclosed destination, but it's close to the British Virgin Islands. Kenny, how you doing? You give me 2 minutes now. Are you counting money? What are you doing? Mighty God.
Brother Gadites, I am on the move as we speak. I'm about to go through the door to hit. But the fact that I hear my phone ringing a Lucas is emergency.
Yes. I've been trying. Our brothers and sisters have been asking for you because you know you are very vital. We don't see the PSI up for now. We know that you have migrated to higher realms. you know, we just wanted to touch base with you. But let me just ask you one question. Are you aware of the world affair that's going on around you? Are you stop watching social media, don't the new, you know?
You can't help. You can't help but listen. We live in a world where even if you wish to avoid it,
yes,
you can't.
Yes,
because everything is still popping everywhere you go. It's just lucky for some of us in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
We may not be directly affected at this point by some of the things that are happening, but you can't avoid them. They're always popping. It's what it is.
I can recall where you were inspired. You were very, very much an inspiration for Digital Money. You're still pushing that realm. But tell me, have you located where you're saying funds have gone inside the system?
When you say funds into the system, explain that.
Well, we are seeing where 12.8 billion or 8 million, I don't know, that Digital Money, that the track star, one of our beloved Maroon brother, has said that he's losing out on. You're following that story? Or that is old news? I know that we move quickly in your light years. You know, that may be old news.
When it is done, you see, Digital Money, there's only one system now which will ever stand, and that is the for want of a better term, the government system.
Jesus.
which is the only system which will eventually rise any place in the world. It don't matter what them call it, it don't matter what's happening. The government system will be the only one standing in short order, because that is where it is designed to take us. So all the talk you're hearing about whatever else you hear people talking about, nobody fool your brother. Who don't understand the globalist agenda are going to be left standing with their mouth open in awe, because this is exactly where it is going as we speak. Nothing else will stand. They will not allow anything else to stand. So millions or billions, wherever the monies are going elsewhere other than in the hands of the elitists.
The elitists.
All of that money would, all of that money would be brought under the same umbrella to facilitate that structure. It don't matter who won.
So it doesn't matter, you said a while ago, it matter who own it, because I see the said bunch of politicians who set up these rules getting back into again. And I'm wondering if there is no change in the horizon, won't this camel back be broken at any time soon? I think we may see a revolution brewing all over.
Politicians are a part of the same system that we're talking about. They not admit it. They don't. All politicians are a part of the new world order. They have no choice. If they are not supporting it, they will be either eliminated or removed from office. They don't have a choice.
But you're saying you're saying all the politicians, police and soldiers, maybe just put us as a club membership. Usain Bolt, is it the secret church that you are reaching out to, where we cannot trust none of these public servants because they are all
the very church itself, sir? To their shame, is a part of the same system.
No, I hope, listen to me. There are several churches, and then there is the church of church. What are you talking about? Because the church of church is over the church and the church is,
Well, let him who heareth understand. The church is the mother of the system.
Mighty God.
So for those of us who are you see, these are some of the things that we're afraid to talk about, because if you talk about it, people look at you funny and then, it's got a propaganda, all kind of crap. Listen, it's going to come tumbling over on all of us in a way that we're going to be shocked to see. It's just exactly what it is.
My God. But seeing that people, we have Kenny here for 5 minutes. I don't have two more questions. The next question I want to ask is, are you aware of the the deployment of military apparatus to rob the treasure place they call Haiti. A mountain of uranium or some of these minerals have been found, and they're sending in down to the dumb, the deaf, the crippled, the cripple under the sanction of the United Nations to rob the country again. What is your take on this, Kenny? Do we need to go into this?
That is not news, my brother. That's not news. That's been happening for ages. That's not new.
But the corporation is saggling up to send people as far as Canada. Maroon.
Yeah, it's not new. And listen, Guyana is a classic example, as I said, within the Caribbean region, if any at all it is. When you look at the resources in Guyana right now, who controls it? Guyana, and when you look at the value of the Guyanese dollar, it's an absolute disgrace that Guyana having all that resources. Like Africa is a similar situation. The people with the most resources are the most impoverished. It's just what it is. Haiti is a classic example. You don't mean not.
My God.
So we just once you understand the way that the club works, you will understand why things are the way they are. The richest people will never ever benefit from their gold, their uranium, their whatever else they have, their minerals in the earth. They'll never benefit because it's not for them to benefit.
Well, people up. Someone just asked me to identify club. Listen, man, I know about the Rotary and I know about the Lions Club. I know about a lot of clubs out there. And
talking about the head club over all of these club stupidness.
Hold on. So the Lion Club connected to the Rotary Club, who have a bigger club over those two clubs?
There is listen, sir. No government is a government. No club is a club. No, nothing is anything because there is always a man over all of that. We need to get to the place where we realize exactly what is happening in the world. This is not news. It's been happening for centuries. They are now out there. The World Economic Forum is now there telling you exactly what the hell is happening. Why are we not? No.
Jesus.
What's happening to us? Are we not getting it yet?
I have just the last 1.5 question here, where I have a flyer up this morning where the likes of Vincent Wheatley, not a leader, Natalia, and we see the brother who is on Palm Beach in Miami, Big Bird Andrew, out there on this flyer. Election is being called. Describe this circus to me, because I can't understand. Nobody has gone to jail except the Big Bird Andrew in Miami, waiting for plucking, but nobody is going. They're all running again. People are asking on the ground in the British Virgin Islands if this is a deja vu.
The people of the British Virgin Islands are too. What should I use?
I hope you don't use the word STP, you know.
No. I want to use a word that is still respectful but describes exactly what I'm thinking.
Right.
They are too naive. They're too naive to understand the workings of the British monopoly. That is simply what is happening.
Oh God, man. Kenny, are you aware of the new laws that is sweeping not only the BVI but throughout the so-called Commonwealth country, where police are given authority to just take your rights from you?
Well, again, it depends, you see, because when the day is done, the people, police has no power, government has no. Nothing that you call authority is anything of its kind if the people do not allow.
If they don't burn down the church, I think the church. If that club over those two baby cubs don't get recognized, it will be a heavy price to pay.
So this is where we are. The authority as the people, as we have come to know it,
yes,
is worth crap, simply worth crap, because the people gives power to whatever they see as powerful. If the people decide that the police is abrogating their rights and decide it stops here, the police is powerless. Government is powerless. People is power.
No, but these are the said brothers and sisters who go to the church on Thursday night. And this is where the conflict of interest coming, because under the Constitution, you can't tell a man not to choose his God. And some of our brothers and sisters have chosen loosely to associate themselves with things that bound them.
Well, welcome to the fact that you have no constitution, sir. Those days are done, see?
Shit, forget you tell me that constitution are null and void. And people, let me just say that, you know, Prince Charles is gearing up to be sworn in May. And that is why some of these elections that is going on is actually fraud. Because Kenny, who are they going to swear to? Because the Queen dead. They can't swear to the Queen. So who they going to swear to when they get elected? Because Charles isn't.
They will be swearing to the
club,
to Shrubs and his authority.
God, I can't believe that I'm hearing this morning. This is not what we want to hear. And you know, I asked for the commissioner and Julian Willock to come on to the here, but is there any sense talking to these clowns, Kenny?
The British Virgin Islands is having a serious problem, my brother. And I think it is only in the interest of those who are running for politics that it's going to happen. When it is done, none of them who are running for politics have the interest of the people at heart. I don't think it is happening any place in the world. It often takes center stage. It must be clearly understood. Politics is not politics as we knew it, or as we know it.
No, but
everything has.
You're using the word politics very lightly, Kenny. For us to realize, people, let's bring you up to scratch, because there was a coup that took place, a bloodless coup. It's one of the most. I think I have to applaud Richard Branson for this bloodless coup that Richard bring off in the modern age of none other than 2020. Was it 2022 where the so-called premier, you stop cheering now, please. The premier at that time was Andrew Foy, and he was rubbing shoulders with the likes of Bill Clinton. You know, he was rubbing shoulders with the likes of the Hillarys and those people, and he got caught with some was it drugs? How many? I don't know. And they said that a drug spin was put in. He's now awaiting trial in the United States Corporation, and he's wearing a ankle bracelet. Now we see that coup took place, Kenny. A puppet government, for a better word, was put in place, led by Nutter leader Suwanda Uhuru, Dr. Dead Carvin Malone, alongside several other dead entities that serve nothing but to serve the Queen. But I'm asking a question, Kenny. If this is a puppet government, how can a puppet government have an election? Is that feasible?
All of these things must happen according. Listen, I said it before.
Yes.
The people, the British Virgin Islands, are a naive people, and I'm saying it categorically, and I want it to be broadcast over and over and over again. They're too naive to comprehend the magnitude of the BS that is being splattered in their face. No one in that territory is capable of listen. King Leopold II, when he was establishing in the Congos, he told his missionaries, he said, teach the people to read, but not to read. I will ever remind you about this thing. Our people are not ruling the crap being perpetrated on them. They are just reading stuff as it comes. Nobody has the common sense is null and void. It's dead. But nothing.
My God. So as I'm saying, people, he's saying that common sense out the door. We are yet to see where this circus is going, because this circus has taken place also in Dominica. Dominica, for all people, have a clown government that has been in power from after the hurricane that is raping the virginity of that island ferociously. Not to mention, Kenny, the rules and regulations that have been put in place as far as traffic ordinance is curtailed at milking the common man because no fine is under $10,000 under the Corporation of Jamaica. What is the synopsis of that with your minimum wage being lower than the tickets that you're being charged?
Precisely. It is all about pumping the wealth upward and impoverishing the man on the ground. Yes? That works hand in hand with the devaluation of the dollar.
Right.
The more devalued the dollar is, the less capable the people will be of affording a decent life. It's called economic impoverishment. That's what it is.
My God. People.
So wherever you find the value of the dollar low, but keep devaluing. Jamaica has $150, $160 maybe going up now. The dollar is devalued to the. That's the level. Jamaicans are 150 times more.
Yeah, hold on, Willie. Yeah.
Than you would say. 100 of these. So they.
And I was program last night saying that Jamaicans are lazy. People like Willie go away, don't want to work in Jamaica, so they run away from Jamaica and then they get 3 jobs. I don't know how can you say a man lazy when we leave the shores and get 3 jobs.
Yes, because idiots are propagating a certain narrative. Ourselves, we know better.
Yes.
That we are living in the age of propaganda. Everybody has an agenda, and everybody is pushing that for whatever reason.
But you can't even call it propaganda again when it is being paid for. Grand Rising, Willie. We're having a reason as to Kenny with the British Virgin Islands and the global transformation, and we're also talking about this traffic agenda that they're using to not only milk you financially, but take everything from you. Under the presumption that they're doing lawful things. Grand Rising, how you feeling, Willie?
Yeah, man, Grand Rising to you both, not from a brethren Kenny, but not a circle.
Brother Willie, greetings anonymous.
Yeah, man, greetings anonymous, brother. And greetings to the group that is. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let me say to your brother, government don't produce nothing, you know. The only thing they know to produce is taxes and oppression on the people, because what do they produce? They dip into people's pocket all the time and they sit in an office doing, what do they do? What do they produce? Tell me. I don't know what they produce more than sit down and try to find how much more can we get from the poor? How much more oppression can we put on people? But you know, people have to start educating themselves on the law. People need to understand that government can always make proclamations and declarations, but if you sit your ass down and you don't say anything, you don't push back, then it becomes law.
So hold on. So the legislative process, gentlemen, have been totally avoided, where nothing goes to the legislature anymore. It just goes straight to the member of parliaments and the club member and sign off and it become law. So you're saying that is illegal? That's illegal.
Yeah, that is illegal. But look at what happened. Look at what happened the other day. It was a typical example of how law works. When they introduced the baby seat, what did the people do? The people start pushing back. What did they do? They had to back down. That is the principle. You sit, you tacit acquiescence, you get you agree. But if you push back and say, we ain't having it work for us, so we tell you what to do, you don't come push anything and oppress us, and that is how it functions. But the people sometimes renege on their duties to say, hey, we're keeping you in check.
No. If you use a very stable word, renege. But Kenny, it is renege or neglect, because these politicians are these politicians are lawmakers, so-called lawmakers, are very slimy. We're here in the government of the corporation of Jamaica, these so laws was on the books for eons ago, and all he's doing is implementing. So it is a snaky move where they tell you what they're going to do, you make up a bag of knives, and then 2 months later, Kenny, it go through the door.
As Brother Willie said a while ago, and quite stated, the government produces nothing of its own.
Right.
And all it does, he asks the question, what do they do? I have the answer for that. All they do is sit in offices, create schemes. I put that in commas.
Schemes, like, oh,
to take from the people more money and more money. The problem now is the scams are on the books. They have not been implemented. So they are pulling from the books the schemes that have been concocted to get more. It's all more money. This government is about to take more in the name of the corporation, because the guys up top, the World Economic Forum, those guys are the ones benefiting. Yeah, they are the ones benefiting.
Wow. The next thing that we must realize,
Yes.
We that's why I keep on saying the time has come for us to stop just watching TV and running about our business. Take some time and study the law, how the law works. Because if people don't understand how the law works, take for instance, if you were to do a research, you would recognize that there's no money in the system. The little paper thing is a note. It is a promissory note. So you don't use that and discharge your tickets and your debts. You go, you get an affidavit, you agree, you're not going to fight to them. You owe $20,000 I think. It's fine. And after you accept, you do your paperwork and you create your promissory note, and you not your promissory note, your promissory note, and you discharge your debt. So no matter what debt they throw on your mortgage, debt, car debt, all kind of debt, by the Constitution.
Yeah, but let's Willie.
Hold on, man. By the Constitution of the United States, the Universal Commercial Code is very clear. As a matter of fact, last night I was just doing some research. The thing is right here for us to write off all our debts, but the problem is we're ignorant of what to do. There's a word for these stuff that they're throwing at us, without being.
Well, let me ask a practical question. Have you write off your debts, Willie? Or are you in the process? You're in the process of writing off your debts, right?
In terms of self-disclosure, I don't like no self-disclosure over the year. I don't like to tell people what I'm doing. But I'm saying the process is there for us to do it, right? The process
I am yet to find, and I respect. Yeah, but respect your privacy. But too many snakes over the last 400 years have come out the woodworks. And that I'm saying, let me ask Kenny, have you reclaimed some of this process that Willie is referring to?
So I don't like talking about it, my brother, because I tend to get very. I like to get very.
You don't like talk about it because you have gotten yours already, and you don't want to disclose it. You don't want to talk about it because it is a fictitious. What?
But I could get very slimy when it comes to this crap, because what I'm going to say.
What a choice of word, Jesus, peace, mighty God. Slimy.
Not many people are going to like what I say about these things, so I tend to keep my mouth shut. But watch me.
Yes.
I have watched a lot of indigenous people come into the fore talking about this crap and all the BS you could imagine and dream of. And when the day's done, it is all a matter of ignorance. Let me tell you something. I watch it happen. I experience it firsthand. And if I wasn't smart, I would be in jail now trying to follow somebody's jackasses.
Hold on. Kenny, it's one thing that Willie always say before he put his foot in his mouth is that this is just some of his summarization that he himself has been out there and hunted fine and he's willing to share. But I keep hearing about these vast amount of trust money and how much you don't have to pay the corporation. But
question, sir.
Yes.
Question. Do you think the World Economic Forum is going to allow the people to lay its hands on this wealth? One simple question. Do you think so?
Where is the wealth? I want to know where it is first before I even think about putting hands on it.
You will not be able to even find it, brother.
Hold on, Willie. Hold on. I think Willie is going to tell us something. Willie.
Hear me now. Hear me now.
Yes.
Again, what is destroying us is ignorance, is improper research. What is destroying us is that we're not getting information from correct source. You need to go to your constitution. What does the constitution say? Article 1, section 10 says, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt.
Hold on.
One more than that.
Hold on. Are you talking about hold on. Are you talking about a state of mind or are you talking about a state of place?
Oh my God. Well, you're right. You're probably right. State.
No, Kenny. No. Well, listen to me.
No, you asked a valuable question.
Yeah.
A state can be the people. A state can be also. You think that the state is like them say, this community here, that big place there, that territory there. No, that's not a state. Mm-hmm. The state is the people. So you're damn right. The state of mind that we're.
But look at this, really.
But there's a lot of rotten minds out there, you know. A lot of damaged minds. But Kenny, yes, Kenny.
Before you move on, Willie made a very important statement, and it must be noted. The Constitution say payment or whatever for debt, whatever it was him say, shouldn't be done in nothing else but what gold and silver coins, something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That's
but hold on. Look at what we are paying. It's a stupid piece of paper, not even toilet you can flush it.
Ink on paper. And people dead over those promissory ink on paper. But I've seen that Willie didn't spill the beans because people, I want you to know that we're not taking in a wild goose chase. I am just opening up the avenues where we looked at the indigenous rights of our people, not only through political eyes, but spiritual eyes and physical eyes, that we can find the solution. Now, Kenny, you said that you could get very slimy when it comes on to retaining all the information, because it is factual that 630,000 was put up as your waiting goal, and the birth paper is something real, so there is a registration of a company out there somewhere, and you are a living entity. Put the three things together and see if it makes sense. I don't know. Willie could do it, but he's done it over and over again. But I don't see the end result, how we get the interest from the 630, not to mention tapping into the 630. I'm 54. I want my money.
There are two ways to it, my brother. Simply put. And they actually gave us a gift, if you ask me, because they couldn't take everything from us.
Yes.
There are two sides to it. One is the private side and the other one is the corporate side. Your straw man is your corporate identity, as we know, and your private identification is, as Willie again aptly alluded to a while ago, that man which is rewarding, deserving privacy. That is in a private domain, you function as a private entity. What they have given to us as a people your time as a private entity, man or woman, you are also able to function at that level. Now, we as the people need to comprehend this scenario carefully to see how we can benefit from the corporate side, which if millions or trillions or whatever is there for us to benefit as a straw man, if that is available, then we need to, as Willie says, study it carefully to learn how to benefit from that. But that has nothing to do with us as a private people who are by law, by right, entitled to conduct our business in a private manner. Nothing to do with that.
And let me just say here, as I said, some person will call it like chicanery business and whatever, but that is the problem. Because we don't understand what is happening here, that is why we think that it is a joke. But let me tell you something. If you were to follow, the problem is people, they don't know it. They have the Universal Commercial Code, they don't know it, and they're not following it. Because the Constitution tells you that if you offer them this promissory note to discharge a debt, and if they refuse, then it places them in default. Just like when you refuse to pay your bill, then put you in default and carry you go court and sue you. You can do the opposite too. You have that power.
But may I strongly interject that you having the power to take on the corporation have a doctor in the court at all times to look at your mental state of mind. As I said a while ago, the state who you're taking on, it is a state of the mind of the corporation, and that is where the timing is something it's on the corners of your rights, because
my brother, guys, you must remember there are people who have solid proof of I'm not gonna say they won't put up a fight. I'm not gonna say they won't try to deny reality. But when you know the law and if you enforce the law with your affidavits and your whatever it is that you need to put together to make a case with the Constitution and the UTC code, I'm telling you, there are people who are winning right now.
But that is the core of how we reach at this junction, myself, you and Kenny, that we want hands up where Tom Jones or Margaret or Sharon can lead the way through practicality. And we're not seeing it. Kenny, you see it, Kenny?
Because who are you following? Who are you listening to? And have you studied it? Have you tried to exercise that right?
But this is the meat of the matter. This is the meat of the matter. We're in a marketplace of knowledge now. And gentlemen, a lot of the knowledge have worms in it, but the book cover look and everything. But I'm saying I'm yet to find that book without the worm that has the credential to show me the practical fruit that this is coming to.
It's there, but it's there.
Okay. Absolutely good point, guys. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this.
Yes.
And I repeat it. It becomes an impossibility given the fact that the New World Order under the World Economic Forum has devised and is devising strategies to disempower our people across the globe.
Quite so.
This is what is making all of this impossible. And I'm saying that until we get to the place where we realize exactly what is happening, it's an absolute waste of time, brother.
Well, we're joined by the doctor. Hold on. Go ahead. Before you come in, Willie, we're joined by the doctor in the building, and we may have some psychiatric evaluation to take place today. But carry on, Willie. Let me hear your synopsis.
No, I was asking him what is a waste of time.
Oh, yeah, Kenny. What?
No. Getting the knowledge is fine.
Yes.
Learning how the system works is fine. But you're talking about laying your hands on the trillions of dollars that as we popularly are told, are there someplace in some account, someplace that we need but you will never be able to lay your hands on it.
Kenny,
yes.
The corporations are obligated under the Universal Commercial Code. They set themselves up, they pledge to abide by. The problem with us, we don't know the code, we're not studying the code. We don't know how to discharge it.
But what we're saying is not we. We want one of our brothers or sisters who have learned the code. But let's go there because I want to bring in the doctor. She is here on a very crucial note. The reason why I called her in is because we are having a developing story over by Grenada. They're celebrating their so-called independence. And a family that have murdered and raped and sodomized relatives of ours in Grenada is offering £100,000 in reparation to the family. Doctor, are you following that story?
Grand Rising, King, and to the rest of my brothers on the panel and sisters. I'm looking at that and a lot of other things as well.
Yes.
When you talk about independence, interdependency, it is not one that has their own goals or they're taking their own destiny in their hands as given or following the path of the great Unkulus before them. You are interdependent on the corporation, taking parts of their laws, judiciaries, and other institution laws to then try to tailor to make your own. It is nothing that belongs to you or came from you or from your Unkulus. So let's make that quite clear. Now, when you look at persons who want to, anyone that is operating under these so-called governments, bodies, and those of that state of mind, remember that these people do not belong to the true intelligence. Yes. So these persons are not of the nine ethers of the true intellectuality that came from our great Unkulus or our wise elders of before. So now they are giving you a breakdown of their mixture of European, Greeks, Latin, and different spells and different types of false intelligence that we now are being asked to abide under.
No, but
so anything. Go ahead.
But I want to stick up in because Kenny was here and Kenny was just interceding that some of the aspiration that we shares as far as working with the corporation or being civil with this beast of a corporation where they are going to honor their obligation and so forth. We've been screwed.
That will never happen. That will never happen.
I was just going to say that. Willie, what you going to say, Willie? Were you going to say something?
Sorry.
That's all right. We are at the crossroad now where it is 2023. We're seeing local leaders. They are tied into obligations by some of these institutions. You're not going to get anything from out of them. This story, Kenny and a doctor, is generating a lot of interest because they're saying in 2023, when the government was paying off the banks, the crown was paying the bank, the ship and slave owners for the so-called property of our people. It was a collective thing. But here we're seeing families now who have made millions over the years off for the death of our brothers and sisters. Families coming up in Grenada at a crucial time. Is this civil or is it an embarrassment to us at this time? Because this is like buying slaves.
It is a national embarrassment.
My God.
First of all, the so-called currency that they want to give us back in terms of repatriation carries no value. It carries no value. If you notice, there is a new African country that has followed the Mali, and what they have done is that they have kicked out the French completely from their lands, and they have given them less than 24 hours to vacate from where they are, which is what I noticed that those people here in the BVI refuse to do.
No, but I'm saying
they refuse to get rid of the colonizer.
No, but I'm saying you're talking very crucial now. In the BVI, just like Grenada, this is a BBC worker who her family had done this atrocity. And look at look at the so-called British Virgin Islands, Sir Francis Drake. If this is not a person to be remembered by any way, shape, or form, this is a murderer. This is a man who has done great atrocity to our people.
Yes.
But yet still, people are still benefiting by going through that channel every day.
Can I say this to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about a national disgrace. It's an international disgrace.
My God, yes.
When you look at what is happening, in the British Virgin Islands as we speak, and I blame the so-called intellectuals who have been elected as government official in that part of the world, right? That my problem is the fact that they allow themselves to be put under the oath of secrecy. That's a piece of white paper, where they can't open their mouth to even talk about what is just and right for the benefit of their own people. They have disempowered themselves by becoming members of government, and 1, 2, they have abused their own right to stand up for their people, and now abusing the nation by virtue of their inability to function as civil beings. It's graceful. And when you look at the whole political development, now you look at the whole economic development of that, the BVI, if it is not carefully monitored, will end up worse than Haiti in the shortest time.
No, you're touching very crucial.
Well, here's the thing, and they are heading there because Haitians fight. People here don't. There's a huge difference.
Yes.
When you look at those who are in government, they cannot represent the people. They cannot speak on behalf of the people or fight on behalf of anybody, because the first thing they did was bow to the colonizer and swore an oath to serve them, not us.
Take your foot off the nutter leader neck a bit. This is very crucial.
No, squeeze it until it gets
No, listen to me. You're not a member of the church. Only the free people them is allowed to put their necks on other brothers and sisters' neck, and we're taking notes today. Willie's also over there in Canada, and Justin Trudeau has just signed on saying that if he doesn't get that digital ID, he may not be able to do any sort of transaction. Not even the very internet that we're streaming on will be able to use, because he'll have to get that biometric digital ID. A lot of things developing, my brothers and sisters. And between all of us, is there a climax to this reach the line where we don't cross it, or what?
It has to get to a point, not that where we can cross the line, but where we have to destroy every boundary and every line that there is. You cannot fight a con institution that has brought you a bunch of so-called laws based on lies of them enslaving you and keeping you in a state of illusion by working with them through their own institution and constitution. You first must step out from where they are, because you cannot go in and fight them with their tools.
But I was just,
you have to fight them with yours.
I was just saying to Brother Kenny a while ago that between the Lions and the Rotary Club, answering to the bigger club, is that some of these small countries are so infested where there is no way out for them, because the uncle and the grandfather and the grandma and everybody is baptized in that sewage.
The brainwashing has taken its course.
Yeah, they are baptized in the sewage, because when you check out,
my God, yes, the brainwashing. It's all about brainwashing. We have been so climatized to accepting this bullcrap to the point where we have no inclination or even no knowledge of the truth. It is simply, as my sister said, accepting it for what it is as presented to us, and that is where the world is. It's a serious point.
And the audacity of the corporation using ignorancy to believing that because everybody is living in the sewage, everybody is comfortable. It is quite evidence with these club affiliated members who gathered in their own secrecy to make decisions on behalf of the people, or taking them as educated jackass because they go out and repeat the said garbage that they're taught in the institution. Like, for instance, I'll bring you up at par right now. The legislation with the seatbelt and the police officers that is going all around for the corporation. Now, we have been saying that they themselves, because of non-legislation, did not know about some of these laws that was putting out where they have to put in place. That makes sense?
Well, the police is only an activist for the state, sir. Let's get that clear.
An agent.
The police has no direct interest in protecting the rights of people. And they themselves waking up to the facts are now, most of them, asking questions. And many of them will leave the force soon, because the ones with a heart are not going to condone to abusing their brothers and sisters in short. They're not going to do it. And that's true, because they now
understand what we've been telling them for a very long time, that they are the slave drivers whipping their own brothers in the field, in the same plantation.
They're not even slave drivers, they're gatekeepers.
Yes.
Bunch of damn gatekeepers.
Because they're protecting the entities. They're not protecting us.
Yeah. No, but seeing that we're here with two of the most outspoken voices for the British, for the Maroon Island, because I don't want to call them British, because there's nothing British about these islands.
No, nothing at all.
The audacity of Kedring Pickering, that has been in government for eons. He was actually given a golden stick to walk and beat his brothers and sisters. He's telling people, saying that people expect once you go in office you to have all the ideas. How many years have these dinosaurs been gatekeeping for the oppressors and make these statements?
Well, first of all, you cannot call that demon, that son of the Portuguese slaves who raped his mother, to not birth him a speck of land. You cannot call him a leader. You cannot expect anything good from him.
Yes. He's an half-inbreed, sorry. You know, I didn't expect.
You cannot call him our brother, because he is not one of us.
But the elephant in the room.
He is one of them.
The elephant in the room between you and Kenny. Why hasn't people gone to the gallows yet? All over, globally. What is the itching point? Because all of us are very much smelling the carcasses that is rotting from inside.
They won't.
They will, really. No, so much lion smelling that buffalo cut blood, not going stand still, King. I don't know how disciplined you are.
It's going to happen. Yes. But first, there has to be an understanding of each of us who is here. The Unkulus have set to do this particular mission. We have to first find where we stand with the in terms of what we do, the gifts that we have been given, because each of us are different warriors who come with different tools for different parts of this war, Right now, when you look at our people, they are standing in a 3D metric world where they cannot quite undo the illusion from the reality of the spiritual beings that we are. You have people who are not connecting themselves as living beings to being able to read the energies of the earth, either vibrations or sound, which every animal, just imagine, every animal can pick up that, even to the point where if you have a dog and you're happy, that dog's energy is one way. If you're afraid, that dog's energy, if it does not belong to you, will attack you. The other one, if your energy is, if you're angered, that belongs to you, then bows because it understands the rage of what it is that is happening. But we are not connected to those things that we're supposed to be connected to. And so because of that, you have people all over the place not being able to decipher between the path that we took as spirits before coming in, the mission that we have here to do and to rebalance, and for those who are sitting in the realms of the Unkulus. Mm-hmm. Now, these things in terms of gallows, we do not have time for gallows when that time comes. We will take their heads off. There will be so much blood in this place that people will have to swim across to make it to another part of the earth. No, but that's how bad it's going to get.
But I want to give into this, because brothers and sisters that are listening, you may be skinning up your face that not on my doorstep and all of that. Here we even have Marlon Penn saying that there's a shortage right now in his department of the social security, and he's running short of staff. We're seeing where the British is crumbling our brothers and sisters and then going to play Captain Save-A-Ho, because now here comes influx of invaders from the place which is cold like ice. Go and get a nice kaboo, get a decent pay, and get to infest our little young girls with all kind of STD. I don't understand this. Is this a game plan?
King, you cannot expect anything from Marlon Penn. I can't call him a man. It has been useless from day one, and until the end, when we will strip him and beat him in public, he will still be absolutely of no use, not even to himself. And the thing that they have been doing, those so-called 13 mules that these entities have been riding like a bunch of jackasses, are paving the way and opening the door. So their thing is, we are helpless. We need help with security. So we have to send and make this place a police state. So the governor can now send for Scotland Yard to come down here, and then it would be worse than having shackles on persons' feet. They will now chase you, and if they believe that you are not part of what they call their so-called peaceful society, they can send the officers to your home. They can arrest you. They can murder you right in your very house. Many will have to flee to the hills. When you look at the... Go ahead.
No, I am trying to soak up nature's little dirty secrets that's being spilled on a Fire Friday like this. Thank
you. Now they're going to say that we are short-staffed. We don't have the capacity to do what you have demanded. It's not recommended. What you have demanded and placed that noose around our not the noose around our neck, but the pretended noose around our neck, because we are your friends. We cannot do so. If you want these things to happen, you must now bring those who are able to assist.
Yeah, and here
that's why they're going to bring those reptiles.
Here comes
the reptiles.
Yes, because this has been the plan from day one. Brothers and sisters, you're joining us right here. We're dissecting some of the gutted corruption that is being infested over there in the British Virgin Islands. Natalie rightfully said we should have she didn't write. She was on to recommend that we leave the sore foot and just work with chopping off the head. And at this appropriate time, we're not seeing stalwarts like Patsy Lake, the lady on the broom. We're not seeing stalwarts like Ronnie Skelton, one-time finance minister. Anders Smith is stop mumbling for the good time. We haven't heard any mumbling out of him. We're seeing Ronnie Skelton, Myron Walwyn seem like they've beat him back into the Stone Age under the Island Man banner. We're seeing all of these brothers and sisters that, in my own essence, should have been charged with some crime. But the big...
My brother.
Yes.
My brother. Listen to this. Very, very, very simple statement I'm making here. You will not see these people rise. You will not hear their voices. You are not going to have anything coming out of them except silence. Why? Because the system has given them and the plate of food and the bed, the comfortable bed with a TV and an air-conditioned room to stay in. They have benefited from the system. To rise against it will work against them. All of them. Therefore, they will be very quiet, because if they open their mouth, they could have it all taken from them. I wonder if that is clear.
I understand.
And that is quite true. Which is why those who are awake, those who have not gone and put a blockage and burnt the doorway to these great onkulus in the form of a jab. And the word jab in Creole means demon. When you look at those persons who have not compromised themselves and have remained open to the gates and the realm of the ancestors, there may seem that there aren't hundreds of thousands, because a lot of them took the jab. But those of us who are awake is enough to bring the balance.
Yeah, but I want to say this out loud, that our brothers and sisters, we're going through a challenge right now. But what we're witnessing is that the Bakra Massa, the enslavers, are beating our brothers and sisters. And at this appropriate time, they would want us to sympathize with them and ask leniency on their behalf. But they have to be beaten. The likes of Ronnie Skelton Klein, who has manipulated our young generation and divide them with the eye from here bullshit, you know, and they've brainwashed our Caribbean brothers and sisters to thinking that if they don't eat boiled fish, they're not from free bottom. This sort of ignorance, and then, you know, it shows that they have kissed the enslavers' ass, and now the UK is taking away the so-called wealth that they had. They don't have any wealth.
They don't anymore. And if you look at the very first 3 syllables of that they have given, VIP is the very first 3 letters of the word viper.
Viper. Viper. But isn't this and this is what I said that to people, that Lavity Stout was a man who spoke eloquently, but he was also a person who was brought up in a harsh environment, who let him be a selfish individual like Ralph T. O'Neill and these Julian Frasers. And what I am embarrassed is that the likes of Not a Leader, the likes of Carvin Malone, the likes of Pickering, these other individuals who did not come under these harsh growing circumstances, still turn around and play the fool and allow our brothers and sisters to be in this sewage of a situation. When we could take when we can have the excuse of the elders, because that generation is myself that is suffering because of that ignorance. We cannot take these excuses from these educated buffoons.
But brother, it's all about the next meal. You get in politics, you win. Of course, you have a good retirement. What the hell?
But we keep calling it politics. This is not politics. This is not politics, Kenny.
They don't care about the people, my brother. They don't care. When it is done, it's all about the next meal. They don't care about you.
No. We are dealing with damaged people, and you know what they said? Damaged people do what? Damaged people. So he have the ignorance of the British crown encouraging our brothers and sisters to live as swallows and swines. Our brothers and sisters have accepted the swine condition. Now the Bakra Masa is taking away that very evil swine condition that they created. But are foolish to think that the only thing that is there is the swine creation.
Bakra Masa is paying these idiots to keep the people in the hog pen, brother. Get it?
Bakra Masa is promising these jackasses. Bakra Masa have nothing to pay anybody. They're going around capturing lands, capturing our wealth, and promising. This is it now, you know. And this is how foolish. Hold on, let me stop the rhythm. Now listen to me. This is the buffoonery of our brothers and sisters. Like, for instance, in the British Virgin Islands. The only thing that these people are going to own is the building behind Right Way. Across from the dead house. They have given up the entire territory for a Thursday night orgy.
Oh Lord.
Mighty God, to get your dick sucked, you give up an entire generation.
Oh Lord.
Abomination.
Mighty God, man. I don't know how we can have these people walking beside us holding their head up. When I listen to the light of hell, who go out there and tell his own people, go and get inoculated because it's the right thing to do. On the national airwaves, sounding as if he is going to save the nation that is already destroyed. And the thing of ignoring.
Do you know the count so far in terms of the death rate happening there?
Well,
you know?
It's nature's it's a secret. I doubt any of that info will come out.
The death rate is high. The cases for new cases for cancer is ridiculous now.
Wow.
The amount of women who are now popping up with lumps in their breast is ridiculous now. amount of people who are calling with blood clots and ovarian cysts, those who are now calling with infertility, those who are calling with things like blood sugar and blood pressure, which they never had before. People who are now calling with vertigo, where they're always losing balance. People who are just fainting and falling. The numbers are up.
Wow.
So now when they look at things, they'll say, oh, well, it can't be the jab because they took it 2 years ago. But these things have now destroyed and literally turned the genetic make of what you used to be before. You're not that anymore. You are a different something. I can't even call them a being. They are a different something. And so now the manifestation of what is happening is the punishment that's happening from the inside out. So you're now facing your own health from the inside out. You now have cancer. You now have diabetes. You now have blood clots all over the place. You now are just getting up and getting dizzy. You don't have any strength to do anything. You're always in a doctor's office. You're always trying to do some blood work and they can't find what's wrong with you. These are the situations that we're facing here now.
Mighty God. Mighty God. This is where common sense kicked in, because even Stevie Wonder can see the garbage that's unfolding. But here we are. Yes, Kenny, you wanted to say something, Willie?
Yeah, hear me now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As far as I'm concerned, there is an Almighty and He's in control regardless of what we think.
Yes.
And these people have been oppressors of other races over time. Now they have run out the time. We get bored with us. So what they have now done is to be turning on each other. So even the very people that look right now are finding out that they're so evil that they're turning against. They are eating out each other from the inside. And that is there. It's like a cancer, a sin. That's how sin works. When people are infected with sin, it's like a cancer. It eats out on your inside. See, they're turning against each other. Look at what's happening in Ukraine. Look at what's happening right now with this the jab. Right? These are people are turning against just a certain set of people. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. It used to be just a set of people that they were against, but now they're turning on each other. So guess what? It's karma. It's karma for the evil that they have done to a set of people. They're having experiencing their own karma. All of a sudden now they are feeling the pressure that other people used to feel, the indignity that other people used to feel. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to just allow God to do what I'm doing now. Because you see me, I am sorry for people who were simplistic and went and get the job, and they have some have passed on, doctors, lawyers, Indian chief. But you see, for the ones who I've always said it, I sympathize with people who could not do better, but these people have been so evil that their whole aim, mantra, is about the destruction of not buildings. All those powerful weapons that they're sending all over, it's not buildings they're trying to destroy now. When they say they're sending this thing to there and over there and thing like that to fuel a war, it's not buildings destroying. It's human life. So they are an enemy to humanity. That's what these people are, right? But it would have only been just a matter of time before time catch up on them. And now all of us, so it's no longer the skin color against the other skin color. It's now about the tiny minority with the billions who can stay at the top and they're showing their true colors. Yeah? Prompted by their master Satan. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, Kenny, you have heard that gospel long ago that God is coming to save us and everything, but we are looking smack dab in the annihilation of our brothers and sisters. As you have, Kenny and Willie just said a while ago, people are walking around, as the doctor put forward, with cancer. They're walking around with lot of illness inside of them. It's not that God don't show us who is creating all of this havoc, but we're waiting God not to show us alone, but to make the lightning flash. Is that what you're buying from the old synopsis, Kenny? That God have to not only find the food, cook it, but open our mouth and feast food. We can't do nothing for ourselves unless we make God do it.
Well, I'll open a more sinister plan to you, sir. I think out of the ignorance of our people,
yes,
we have actually consumed the product.
What's the name of that product? What's the name of that product?
The product is called the jab, as the Honorable Doctor outlined a while ago, and that is what is killing us.
But who made the jab?
It is now enacting and superimposing, if I should put it that way, all kinds of things on people, the cancer, the this, the that, and it's all coming straight from because it is now national knowledge. Can you don't say so? It's public knowledge now that the jabs contain all of this crap, which is now affecting the people directly in the ways as the doctor outlined. So, what is it that we have been so ignorant? Well, I blame it in part on the people's ignorance. I blame it in part on political intervention in brainwashing the people to think that this thing was good for them, to kill them. No, because it is now killing all the people, and nobody's taking responsibility for it. Nobody's even helping.
And if I may add to that, Kenny, a lot of people were warned. You see, that's why we have to always talk about that. Hold on. Let me say something.
They wasn't listening to Freshradiovybz, nor our PSI.
Hold on, brother.
Yes, sir.
All I'm saying is, you see, God never leave mankind without a witness. Always a witness. You see people who run go do it?
Yes.
I'm sure along the way, Father God provided with a witness. If I even the witness of them voice or them conscience and I do it, and I run go do it. A whole heap of people, I'm sure say, Father God, because me get videos upon videos upon videos upon videos, I say, do not take it. From like 40, 50 doctor line up one day and the other on your WhatsApp, I say, do not take it. It is not safe. It is not effective. Do not take it. One man I said, people who take it gonna start drop like flies. Well, they didn't listen. And they are dropping like flies all over. All over. I mean, I see a compilation the other day, it was staggering. Where you see people, and it's like a demon come over them, them up find them hand up in the ear, them a look up in the ear. One of them drop on the one tree and push him. And have some vivid scene there that you see. So let me tell you something, brother. Yes. When people can't hear, they feel. Stubbornness is like witchcraft, the Bible says. When you're stubborn, it's like you're committing witchcraft.
Jeez, mighty God. That is Willie, and Willie doesn't hold back when he is defending his stand. As for me, I just want to say these revelation that is taking place around us is very serious. Another developing story, my brother Kenny, before you go, because you spend overtime, this Chinese invasion in the Caribbean. What's your take on it? Because I hear that we have to start speaking Chinese very soon.
Well, it's working two ways because China is capitalizing on the fact that the USA has not been doing as much as it should for the nation, the Central Americas. And when the day is done, China, realizing that it can benefit, is now utilizing that opportunity to suck the wealth of the region. The USA has stringent terms where countries across the region should qualify so they can benefit. China said, no, we don't need to do that. We can come in and we give you the money you bill. We just control your water supply. We control certain areas. Blah, blah, blah. And our leaders up for it. They are now open up the entire region to Chinese intervention.
So you're saying that our leaders have taken our resources and not only give them away, but have collected spoils and benefit for doing nothing at all?
China own a lot of the lands across the Central Americas right now. I'm not sure what is left of it. A lot of the lands are owned by Chinese entities.
Mighty God.
So that is where we are. Many of the waterways, the beach lands, most of the lands are owned right now. Literally.
Mighty God. So and we're getting.
So that is what has been happening.
We're getting news through the grapevine that the Jamaican government, in particular, the wife of the Prime Minister, has just started building some new houses down in one of the parishes helped by the Chinese government. This is how licky our leadership has gone.
Yeah, it's all about a meal. It's all about a meal, brother. Listen, no see come see is a nasty thing, you know.
Never see come see.
Never see come see. And this is a problem with the political leaders. They have no qualification for leadership, or the people, by virtue of the fact that they gave some of them people a pound of rice and pound of chicken back and one bottle of soda. They sell themselves to these idiots.
But these are all part of the plan, because remember, the ones that came together and divided us are actually expecting the other termites, the lower ones, the termites, to come together and see how they could eat out and buy out wherever we are and take over. So it's happening in Jamaica, it's happening in St. Lucia, it's happening in different parts of Africa. And if you notice, when you look at Taiwanese, you look at Taiwanese, you look at Chinese, you look at those from Hong Kong, you look at the Philippines. These are one particular tribe. They're one people, and all of them do the exact same thing. You go to a house for one Filipino, you'll come back and there are about 15 in your house. All of them putting together to buy 1 pound of rice, and then they put their monies together, and you will see them passing later on and having so much money. They send tons back to their country, but they buy things quietly on one person's name.
No, because we're getting news now that, and this is breaking news, we're getting news that several of these Chinese that is here in the Caribbean are actually political prisoners working on behalf of the state in particular. We are yet to see. We see where apartments are being rented and cars are being bought, but these money are directly paid to government, because, like, for instance, we see the Bank of China open in the British Virgin Islands, and this is the Bank of China, the government of China. But then they lend some money to a ministry, and then the ministry now allow these brothers, these people to come in and work on behalf of the government who signed this contract. But these people are political prisoners coming in, taking your professional job at a lower rate with the money going back to the country.
And that is what it has been designed to do. The colonizer will keep his foot on your neck. He will destroy and dismantle your country. Then he sends the lesser termites, their slaves, termites. In order for us to vindicate you of whatever prisoner that we have you as or labeled as, you will now go down to those countries. We will now make embargoes with our counterpart, which will allow, and if you notice, the reason why I'm bringing that illustration, if you notice, you will not be able to get certain things done in your country or where you live.
Yes.
But a Chinaman will come from anywhere and get that opportunity before you, even if you have more proof that you deserve it. The Filipino will come and get the bigger job as manager above you when you have been trying to work your way up for a while. The Japanese will come in, it's the exact same thing. The Korean comes in, it's the exact same thing. You know, the Europeans, they come in, those from the UK, the French.
They say it's because our people are lazy and don't want to work.
No, it's actually an embargo that they have between each other to make sure that they all plunder and they all benefit on the backs of our people. It's been that way. So no matter where they go, they will get privilege before us, because the system has been designed to assist and to bring them
up. Hold on. Here goes with the milk in the coffee, where this church plays a vital role, because it's a church and it has no barriers. You can join that church in Japan and come over here, and get a big job. God.
And here's how the church operates. They have removed the fundamental parts that, like, if you notice, in our African heritage and our lineage and our spirituality, you can only be one of us if you are one of us. When they created religion and Christianity, they created it on a belief system. In other words, it is not real. So back and forth to whichever house of so-called worship that you want to. And then you can now use these things to then be able to go to any part of the world. It is recognized by cooperation. Anything that the cooperation recognizes and sees as someone's right in terms of that sort of faith is actually part of their cooperation. There is no church, none under the face of the skies that was not founded by one of the white Masons. Not one. It is only our spirituality that they have demonized and even made our own people afraid of our own selves.
Mighty God. Yeah, we really see sort of it. I'm trying to get my virgin from over Haiti. I know that he's busy right now because he's also running Ben's Caribbean food, and that's one of our sponsors right there. We will be touching base. But Kenny, I just want to say thank you. You know, you've been really going over and beyond. The British Virgin Islands is a place that we have a keen eye on. I am so much disappointed that our people are being put in this sewage situation with another sham so-called election that will bear no fruit, because the island is already being sucked dry by the crown, because the crown find out that we don't know how to activate our rights. As I said before, help us to document you. You know what I mean, my brothers and sisters? If you help yourself, nobody's going to help you.
No one will help you.
No, we have so many church per square miles, but none of them have a bank. None of them have a hospital. None of them have some daycare, but these are like just drop off and pick up. They're not teaching our young people nothing at all. So we have to help ourselves. We need to document.
But King, even those who have schools like the Seventh-day Adventists, who do they teach people out of? They talk about Ellen G. White, a white woman, is actually who they call their prophetess and teachers. So no matter whether they have schools or not, it's still part of the same corporation.
Yes, it's said curriculum. You know, they don't have a change.
Yes,
will continue.
So for the BVI, yes, we are disappointed, but we are not surprised, because we are wide awake, and the spirits who are dead will bow to the dead. Those of us who are awake, and I has always been, will continue to live, and we are the ones who are going to have to bury the dead, or have the dead bury their dead.
Wow.
Well, Kenny, that wow is coming from a deep emotional place. Wow about what? Wow about who or where?
The thing is, you know, my beloved doctor, somebody I love and respect a lot. She's right on point, you know. And some of the things, if I were to say, probably would blow this whole thing apart. You have to seriously look at it from a point of pure knowledge, and relate as we are relating to it now in a way that our people can even grasp it from a point of comprehension, because unless it is comprehended and related to in a way that we can apply the knowledge to save ourselves, as the doctor said, well, we might have to be burying dead. It is a simple fact. But how long will it take? I don't know. How soon will the people wake up to protect themselves? I don't know. When will enough people have to die before we wake up? Before we are dead? I don't know.
But
those and we can wake the people up. Those people who are connected to the spirits and are connected to the vibrations of the earth and to every frequency and every spirit in terms of the different realms. There are those in the BVI. There are those in Haiti. There are those in St. Lucia. There are those in Dominica. This is the connection that has to be formed, that all spirits will form a banner and do what needs to be done, because doing things through their system is never going to work.
100% so.
My God. Let me just say good afternoon to Dr. Chensia. She's trying to reach us. She's in the University of the USV, and she's also very much eloquently connected to the likes of the Garveys. We are entertaining the doctor, and our audience is loving how you put forward the solution, you know, because this is where we're aiming at, to get the solution when it comes on to our brothers and sisters. One of the solutions we have clearly come to understand is that our brothers and sisters have joined organizations that does not and will not give them the privilege to serve our people. They recognized that these organizations are only under a bigger umbrella that they themselves can't even reach, because no matter how they swear to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne, inviting them to the House of Lords or the House of Commons or Buckingham Palace is a privilege where some of them don't even get all their lifetime, because the seat of power is not within the Rotary Club or the Lions Club. That's not the seat of power. It's the gate of power. I will say this again. If you're a Rotarian or Lions Club member, these are the gates that the oppressors use with other organizations, the Bilderbergs and these people, to actually isolate us. And we have found out that nearly all of our elected officials and government workers are invited to these private gatherings to discuss.
Of course, including the ex-premier of this place, Orlando. He's a very strong Rotarian.
Orlando is not a Rotarian. He's a very strong Mason. He's a Freemason.
Oh, he's in both, because I've seen him both in the Rotary and in the other one.
Yeah, we have to understand that an invitation to the Rotary is actually an invitation to be a part of the club. But that is that is the soft way of come over and eat with us, man, and then we can tell you what we do. Which I said to my brothers and sisters, for all of them who were enticed by the spoils and benefit, we do not eat junk food, and we do not go for some of these things that they use to bribe. But it's quite evident. It's quite evident that some of these brothers and sisters who went to the parties have been caught and taped doing some sadomatic, nasty act. That's why they're so compelling. We thought that
that's right.
Yeah, we thought that the Epstein and the Richard was limited to certain people, but going over to these places on a Thursday night or a weekend without anybody know, the cameras is up and the tapes are out there where some of these ministers are past freaky.
Actually, they go. Yes, and I said so boldly at 3 o'clock in the morning when they think that no one can see them in Johnson Gut, when they enter into this place with no clothes and men are sodomizing each other. Those of us who are the spirit, and those of us who are in line and walking with the Nkulus, we have set the necessary punishments for them.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very hard on our brothers and sisters, because we are not the one that's going to get rid of you, you know. It is the said invaders who are going to get rid of you, because you are useless to them anymore. The Duke is dead. The Queen is dead. The Duke, if you didn't know, was the head of the Scottish Lodge, and all the Masons, all the lodge come through the Scottish Lodge. And if he's dead, that means that this is a turkey without a head, a chicken without a head. But the corporation is banking that they can fool the militias, which is the military, to go ahead with this thing. But they can't even pay the police, because the police and soldiers are getting nickel and dimes, because the politicians don't even get anything. You know, we must understand that these... Yes, sir.
As we close this session today, or as I close with you, the Honorable Doctor, I want to send out a word to our brothers and sisters across the region and other parts of the world. Word is a word of connection. Let us find our brothers and sisters of like mind. Let us stand together to protect ourselves and do that which is just and right for our people. Peace. We'll catch up later.
Yeah, man. Grand rising and peace and blessings, man. Yeah, Kenny's gone, but of course, the doctor is still here with us. Doctor, I always try to find out some of the details that's going on, and as we said, our people is in a quagmire when it comes on to their rights. They don't get anything, but it is so foolish to see our people being led by the said people who poison and killing them off, but then doing it even so through the name of God and all these foolishness.
Yes, because they have told them that the shepherd actually know that the sheep listens to the voice of the shepherd. Even if you're at the verge of death, the sheep should remain faithful until death, and there he shall receive a crown of light.
Oh my God.
This is what religion has taught them. And so now they have another verse that says that you are to pray for the king or pray for the leaders of the country. That is something that they have been saying for a very long time, and I hear it a lot here in the BBI. To pray for the leaders of the country, because they are appointed by so-called God. So again, religion is a big problem.
Well, they're saying in a nutshell that we are the gods that have appointed them, because we are all gods. And someone from Lucia said that Garvey St. Mary said most people in the corporation of St. Lucia are still sleeping. Just today, they were parading with a so-called torch for their so-called independent. What do you say to that caller? To that person?
Interdependency, and he understands that very well, because while they're talking about independence, they have borrowed money from the IMF that has now to be paid. The interest rate is so high that the crime rate has gone up. In terms of living, the cost of living is ridiculous. If you don't have a proper means of which to feed yourself, it is a problem. So yes, there is no independence. These people do not have their own self-determination. They have taken pages, laws, and institutions from these same people that they have left in terms of laws and so forth. If you notice, when certain things are being done, even right now that they're calling that they're independent, yet they still have a representative sitting as a governor general that sits in the seat on behalf of the queen. So these people are still not free. The interest is still very strong.
Yeah, yep. Our brothers and sisters, as we said, the celebration of independence is a blatant disrespect. It's
a blatant disrespect, because what they realized was that at the time of Queen Nanny, at the time of Toussaint in Haiti, that they were taking these colonizers of our people and bringing us back to the spirituality that our forefathers knew. When they realized that it was happening because when Queen Nanny and her warriors went to war, they used to go to the conjure root workers who would anoint them with different herbs and oils, so that way you could not have bullets penetrating their bodies, because they used to wonder, how can these people beat us when we have guns, we have all of these things, yet they're coming with spears and with machetes and killing us by the hundreds of thousands, so we have to run for our life. Now, when you look at these things happening, they came now and gave an illusion of we are setting you free under certain terms and conditions. When someone gives you your so-called freedom based on terms and conditions of which they are the head of those terms and conditions, which you have to comply to, and tells you there is a process for which you need to be free, it's absolute garbage.
I don't take lightly to these so-called civilized approach that the oppressors use. Because you cannot put me in captivity. You cannot tell me that I'm in captivity and you're the only one that can free from captivity. And that's why I said to our people that we need to stop looking to the enslavers for justice. They are way behind us. We have always known justice. We have always known what justice look like and feel like. But then we have the oppressors measuring it to us, trying to tell us what is right and what is wrong. They're the one who...
And if we do not comply, then we are called uncivilized.
Yeah.
If you notice, the so-called things that they call civilized...
as we said, we'd rather be wild and untamed more than be domesticated. Once you're
Yes, because
educated,
when you are wild in nature, you are one with the
of
spirits. You are
course,
one with
of
nature.
Mother
You are
Nature.
one with all
Can
yes,
you
of
can
all great spirits. And
yeah,
yes, and everything is left open. The access of all realms, even of abundance when it comes to wealth, is open to you.
no, but can you control the water? No. Can you control the lightning? No. Can you control the air? No. Can you control the earth? No. So Mother Nature in itself is indeed wild and untamed. And that's why when we say maroon, yo, our ancestors have made no mistake. We are going to this channel, and it is greater, as I said to my brothers and sisters, it is greater than just existing physically, even spiritually, even mentally. It is galactically. It is
That's right.
out of this realm that we exist. I am looking at myself right now in this human form, in a celestial manner. I am doing that.
Yes.
Yes. And that is, there is no box when you're celestial. When you,
That's right.
yes,
That's why even when they look and they say, oh, this person so-called shapeshifts and leaves this place and goes all the way to another country and so
Yes.
forth and try to demonize it. In their same Bible, they would tell you that this person was talking in one place and was taken up by the spirit. What is it to be taken up by the spirits?
I am transcending, and like for
That's
instance, like for instance, I was having a conversation just yesterday, and they were telling me that the entire reason in the British Virgin Islands, but the entire reasoning was around what we've been doing. And they say, you're not here, but your influence and your spirit is still predominant. They try to measure
because spirit is bound to no particular landmass,
Thank
but
you.
everywhere at every time and in everything.
no jurisdiction. As I said,
That's right.
we are celestial beings. You know, I am looking at myself on planet Earth in a human form right now, but I am eons away on a different place. But I have that sort of power. That's a power that all of us have. But our mind have been captured, and then our physical body has been chained, and then our telepathical powers have been bent to go in a different direction. We got to straighten out ourselves and stop giving.
That's right. And there comes the discipline of having spirit and mind as one again.
Yes.
Because they've separated again, as you said, the spirit, and they have put it in one place and have chained it there. Again, in their same Bible, it says, "Do not grieve the spirit."
No.
What does it mean to grieve your spirit? You are now taking on every other ideology and every other ritual handed to you by everyone,
Yes.
and the belongs to you, that intergalactic spirit, that spirit of the Onkolo, that spirit of the Orishas, all of these spirits who are sitting, and there are thousands there to protect and guide you. You have abandoned them for a lesser spirit, and so now you have become a slave, even within your own body.
Words. That's what we're talking about, you know. And you know, as much as we say we're dealing with uplifting our people, we all have to understand that our people are damaged also. They're damaged because purposely people have seen the love in our people and manipulate love. You can manipulate love. We need to come to realization not everybody that says they love you actually know what love is. They've never been loved before, and how they've been loved is through sometimes materialistic wealth, where someone put them who lives in the British Virgin Islands. The only reason why they carry on this ignorance is because they've given a certain economical leeway over our other brothers and sisters who live on planet Earth. They've been given certain privileges that they consider to be theirs. It's theirs, and now the slave owners are taking back these privileges because they were never free. They were more bounded to the enslavers more than me, the doctor, and several of our brothers and sisters. because the more you depend on the enslaver, is the more they tighten the noose around your neck. And that is what's
And they
happening.
also, yes, and that's one thing that every enemy has in common with the person who, or the people who they are trying to destroy. If you are not loyal to your own body and you're willing to sacrifice yourself to please your enemy will realize you have no value for your body. So when he comes to destroy it, there isn't much defense that you will have. When you tell me that you are a speck amongst the rest, you have abandoned the stronger parts or arms that have been sent with you, because the so-called colonizer has given you a little privilege. The corporation has given you a fake illusion that you have some sort of fake privilege. You have ridden on that and you have spat on your brother because you thought you were better. So now that they have come to show you that you never had any power, we gave you that of illusion, so that will divide you amongst yourself. But you have no use to us anymore. And now that you have done a great job at dividing yourself from those who can help you, protect you, and fight with you, we can now murder you or slice you off from the face of wherever we need to, because you now have no backbone. You traitor of your own self.
Yes. Yeah. True.
Yes.
Because if you allow you go inside the house that the enslaver own, you get to ride in the cars that the enslaver robbed from you. Because the enslaver is actually tricking you to live your life, but he wants to live your life as the boss and you as the slave. And that is why, even when I was living in the British Virgin Islands and I saw what Andrew in particular play a very nasty role to cut off the cord of our Caribbean brothers and sisters to the BVI after the hurricane by promising them that he could have delivered what was the slave master's privilege to brothers and sisters who were blinded. Because, wow.
Yes. And if you notice, the evil in that man, the entity, the evil and darkness in that man, never knew that there would become someone who is even than he is, in the form of our so-called present premier.
No,
who has now slept with the who has slept with the enslaver, and now have plotted to put you where you are, because there's always an evil of more evil.
Hold on.
A deal was set.
Hold on. Because we're missing the real devil in the details. Both the past premier and the present premier was put there by Carvin Malone. Because after Ralph T. O'Neill passes, Malone was being put forward as the leader, but he was the president.
Yes, he was being groomed for that.
And the rumor on the street was that Andrew was the illegitimate son for Ralph. So Andrew gaining. But if you notice even now why Carvin Malone cannot step away from the realm of power is because he feels that he's entitled. He has this sort of entitledness where he tells himself that I put Andrew there and I put this not a leader there. So, and it's a facade, because truth be told, both not a leader and Andrew have to respect Carvin, because Carvin is the brother for Meade Malone, and Meade Malone and Carvin is the son of the founder of the Virgin Islands Party. Father Mose.
So you have hence the reason you have this demon standing behind the them now play people's hero and devil's advocate.
He's tricking. What Carvin Malone is doing is Suwanda Uhuru is a puppy to Carvin
not
Malone.
A leader. Do not call him by the name the
not a leader.
Right.
Not a leader is a chihuahua to Carvin. Andrew,
he's a wiser viper than the two of them.
No, No, Carvin is a wiser viper than the two, Natalita and Andrew. Because as I said before, he is the wizard that brought these, especially Natalita. When Natalita was walking up and down, and I remember when he came to me and he said, Rasgadites, you know that I've been offered the presidency of the Virgin Islands Party. And I said, you can't do that, Sowanda, because you're going to be sleeping in bed with the devil. And from they give him his first initiation, he take off the dashiki and he start to just go down the destructive route. And
that's right.
Yes,
he actually stripped himself and separated himself from the Okulus, which is why I called and I told him live on radio to his face that he has been stripped from that the ancestors gave him.
He has
and
no
so
soul.
Do not affiliate yourself whatsoever with the land of the spirit. You are now dead.
Yes. No, but what I did not see with the leader and many of my brothers and sisters was that they were church members. And because of them being church members, even though they dress and talk nice and everything, they had a symbolic church that they have to bear their soul to.
That's right.
Yes, you know,
and that would put them right back into the seat, because remember, that is the so-called illusion of spirituality that they have, that has been given by the beast. And so when you bow and you say, I give my life to this so-called JC, if you notice, they're going and saying that I'm being baptized and I'm drinking his blood and eating his body, another symbolization of pure demonic entities.
No, but that is the cannibalism. That is the cannibalism of the church. And our brothers and sisters know, like for instance, when you look at Carvin Malone looks like the right man to approach. He's very subtle, but he's a beast that you don't see. There's a monster that lives behind that persona.
Those of us who are awake, from the time that he appears anywhere, you can feel it before you actually see it. And when he appears, you see nothing but a naked, stripped down demon right there in front of your face. He cannot cloak himself. He can cloak himself, are dead. Spirit has been already chained, and for those who have decided to genetically modify and change who they are. But he can hide from the light. There is nothing that you can hide. As dark as a place may be, you switch on that light. Everything is laid bare.
Every member of that church, and as I said to my brothers and sisters, that you may listening to us and say that I'm a member of the Rotary, I'm a member of the Lions, I'm a member of this organization, and we don't deal with that. But look for the signs, my brothers and sisters. Look for the signs.
They all carry a distance, and everything they carry can be found in one of the settings of the Freemason. Every last one.
But that is the headquarters. That is the headquarters. Yes. Our people have to know that is the nest for the oppressors. That's where the oppressors find all of the jewels. Because some of the people, when I look at, I was surprised the other day. I go on this bishop page, and this bishop is a full-pledged member. And I'm like,
there was one who I met in St. Lucia, which is where the Spirit brought me forth from in terms of birth. When he saw me, he walked up to me and he said, there is a very bright light, a very brilliant light in you. Then he walked up and he tried to convince me, and then I looked at him and I said, if you only knew the danger that you were putting yourself in by even approaching me, you would not approach me. Then I said to him, I know about your people. I know of what you do. I know of the secret plans that happen behind doors, the sodomy that happens between your people, the abominations that you do before heaven and the earth and to every other spirit and thing that we do not see. We see you. He turned around and he said, We do a lot of good things. We look after the poor. We go to people's houses. I look after an elderly woman. I said, and yet you have no soul. There is nothing that is between you and the spirits, for that has been severed and burnt a long time ago.
Yes.
So no matter what you do in the face of man to deceive them, because that's all you guys do, I said, at the end of the day, when the realm of the spirits are open and we look, we see nothing but wood that is meant for the fire.
As I said, these brothers and sisters will be the first sacrificial lamb. They have sacrificed themselves already. You know, and it's not for the betterment of our people, because you cannot beat the devil in a chess game. You will not beat the devil at his own chess game. And you have to come back to the ancestors and rebuke yourself if you can, and find and redeem. I tell our brothers and sisters, we have seen you. Our people have seen you, and we know that is because of the materialistic opportunity why you have sold us out. And as much as it helped us at this short notice, in the long run, we are making your people be a sacrifice unnecessarily. Doctor?
That's right.
Yeah, I want to leave it right here for today, because it's been a very energetic thing. I'm going to have it up on YouTube. And once again, I just pray that the ancestors keep you in the health and give you all the wealth and protection that you deserve, and no weapon that form against our people shall prosper.
Ashe.
Yeah, let me get this sorted out. I will be right back. I want to touch base with our African link, but we'll touch base with a little bit. I'll be going over to our radio station. Keep it right. Yes, my lord. Thank you so much for linking up with us, and make sure that you got the daily feel. Yours truly, Rascalites, inside the building. Don't know.
Watch this.
They come for drink milk. Over there. It is abundantly clear to me that there are people who live afar and identify as Jamaicans, but you don't have one of these. And while you're entitled to your opinion, one is a set or rascal does. So let me set the record straight.
So, Miss Corridor Suyong, danger with our relatives who are born overseas calling themselves Jamaicans, if them don't have a Jamaican passport. You understand? And to make it even worse, she called them a set of rascal nuns. You understand? Sound familiar? Greetings.
If you come in a hotel, you can't read. That's alright. Me help you. Right? But you see, if you can't read, and you go on like you can read, you done so. But how you can done so? I have attitude with it. And that me not get.
So the first time I did a video on Ghetto Kirk, or you know what I mean, Gear to Kirk, see? Everybody come out against me, bashing me, saying that, you know what I mean, I was the dunce one, and you know what I mean, defending Ghetto Kirk. But we in the ISUPK, we are trained to see when the children of Israel are being disrespected. And see Miss Corridor Suyong come and confirm it. You understand? But notice the tone though. See, this is the tone of somebody who knows that them people have power in a Jamaica, you know. You understand? And the people who they are speaking out against, that they don't have no power, talking about our people. That is the tone of an oppressor. But rest assured that none of these dog-eating, Down syndrome-looking people would not be taking claim to Jamaica, except for the culture that the black people, see, who was brought over here in chains, the children of Israel, created. If we did not make Jamaica so popular and so great through our culture, see, and our athletes and everything that we created, putting Jamaica on the world map, they wouldn't care one bit about Jamaica. You understand? Of course, we know they don't give back to Jamaica. See, them take from the poor people here in Jamaica, which is us, the black people, and them feed themselves. You understand? But they love when people call them Jamaica. Why? because we make Jamaica great. You understand? But why are these people so bold and outspoken against us? This is why. Because you give them the power that them have. You see, them don't go to the polling booth and vote, you know. You understand? Their power is in their pockets. And you are the ones that make them rich. See? You are the ones that go to them wholesale, you know what I mean, and patronize them business. You understand? And inadvertently make your people poor and subject it to them. They don't give back to your community, you know, but them take from your community. And them feel comfortable coming on the internet and calling you a set of rascal dunce. You understand? The Bible told us that this would happen to the children of Israel. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43. And it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So that is basically letting you know.
Yeah, yeah. Man, let me call you up now, because I was doing a live trying to get to you.
Okay, then, all right.
Willie God, let me call you forward, Willie God.
Yeah, go on, brother.
Yeah, we'll go to later, you know. We just did a wrap up a while ago, because you know what time it is, you know, but the phone line I go crazy, you know. But see you later.
Nice.
Over by the pen.
Why? You say, Chum, because you disappoint me so much, man. Because you see a man like a lion like you, I want on the team, you know. You just have play around. And you're gonna make things. You're gonna wait till the thing kind of too late. But me tell you, some things are going in at the camp. Some things are going at the camp. Some man has spread some bad vibes, right? No.
Weed, man. Woman, I say them need, man. Herbs, it good for your nerves, and it make you preserve. Yo, I say them are the same thing. I just a damn thing, and I know damn thing. What do you missing? Well, I just the same thing. I just a damn thing, and no cocaine thing. What am I doing? They would like them a watch where we a smoke, and they would like them a chat where we a smoke. Well, they would like them a watch where we a smoke. But we not take no hold under me cushion them. No big people friend. Done them already, I make done them again. Them don't like me, I make done not like them. Tell them set my fire blaze up with them. And from Italy, smoke it at New York, smoke it at Cali, smoke it in the hills and no smoke it in the valley. When you smoke the Cali, can't dwell in no valley. Big ganja rally, and from the chest, best from west. Serious and no joke nor bet. It good for your back, it good for your chest. Good inspiration, them that we got make you get. So me hand on the fire, put it in me chalice, then me put it on the fire. Who used to smoke it? Great Isaiah. Who says Fiyah? Who says Akalaya? Ask Malikaya, ask Obadiah. Gonna be claim, go ask Jeremiah. Go in the days, ask Bungolaya. Still I light it up and just a bun thief a liar. Bun bag a wire, and I'm highly. Kill Babylon, them cannot know me vilely. Tell them say them cannot kill out the chiley. When you smoke the highly, your pocket full of a highly. Alright then, the whole of them a watch where we a smoke. And the whole of them a chat